Hey guys, Stellar here. I'm back with another video for you guys, and today's video is being brought to you by the letter C. C as in crumble. In other words, I'm going to tell you how the cookie started to crumble for the group. What many of you don't realize is that our group actually started to fall apart at the beginning of January. Yes, that's right, January. And before I go any further, I just want to make something really clear. I don't want people out there thinking that I have had a slew of screenshots that I've been sitting on just waiting for this moment. That is not the case at all. I was not sitting here just taking screenshots and thinking, oh, I would just save this for a later date because it might come in handy. No, I had no reason to sit here and take screenshots, but I have had screenshots sent to me. I will be honest there. But what I have done is I have gone through many of my DMs, I have gone through the conversations, I have gone through Twitter feeds to try and pinpoint exactly when things happened. Now, I remember things that happened, but of course the dates get a little bit fuzzy, and I just wanted to be able to provide a factual timeline. I don't want to just sit here and say, well, it happened around this time, or it happened after this. So that's what I have done. I have gone and matched up dates, matched up things that happened, and just created a timeline. For those of you who know how I do my videos, you know that I always try to back it up with facts. I'm not just going to sit out here and tell a story and just be, well, maybe I think it happened like this. So I've taken my time on this. And any screenshots that I share in this video or future videos are going to be from public postings. Postings that were made public for everyone to see. I will not be sharing private information. I will not be sharing private conversations. I will not be sharing things that were told to me in confidence. I'm not that type of person, and there is no reason to share that type of information. So, anything I share is going to be something that was shared publicly. So no, not going there, not sharing anybody's private conversations that they had with me. However, if there is something that I have said, in my own words, if there's something that I said that I feel I want to share, they're my words, I said it, so I might provide that. I might use that in this video or future videos. Again, I'm telling a story and I'm going to provide facts, and if I've said something, then I might use it, and I have the right to use it. They're my words. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started and see how the cookie started to crumble. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning of the year, of the new year. Let's go back to January. Does anybody remember what happened on January 5th? Anybody? Let me refresh your memory. This was a very memorable day for me, for many, because there was a lot of excitement happening that day. Well, Trish decided that she wanted to apologize publicly to Dee and Kaylee for all the wrongdoing she had done. Yeah, you guys remember that stream? Do you guys know what I'm talking about now? I'm not going to get into the topic of that stream because those of you who saw, you guys know what was going on. Basically, she wanted to address Kaylee and Dee and apologize for her bad behavior. Anyhow, we all knew that it was just whatever, a fake. It happened before. Anyhow, 2 streams going, and Trish ends up on stream with Kaylee and Dee. The stream goes well, there was a lot said, but it was obvious that there was never going to be any type of resolution between any of them. After that stream, Kaylee had expressed some feelings that she was having. She felt a little left out, she felt like she was being overshadowed, and she felt like Dee was getting all the credit for the stream, which she saw as a group effort. Now, of course, we couldn't dismiss how Kaylee was feeling. I mean, that's how she felt. Those were her feelings. So who are we to say you shouldn't feel that way? So we did all that we could to let her know that she did a great job and that she handled herself well. We thought both of them did. And we gave them both equal credit for doing the stream because it was a joint effort. Other things happened during that conversation, but that's not my part to tell. But it was very clear that that is where a fracture between Kaylee and Dee really started. On January 7th, Dee came to us privately to discuss some of the issues between she and Kaylee. And It was starting to become very uncomfortable for us. We didn't want to be in this type of situation. Anyhow, we all tried to reassure Dee that everything would work out and that Kaylee was just feeling hurt by a few things that had gone on. And she was entitled to have those feelings. Even if Dee didn't agree as to why Kaylee was feeling upset, she was still entitled to have those feelings, to express those feelings. We let Dee know that we were there to support both of them. We're going to be supportive of Kaylee and we were going to be supportive of Dee. We also told Dee that whatever was going on between she and Kaylee was between them and that we didn't want to have a part of it. We didn't want to be put in the middle of it. And that was that. End of story. We were going to support each of them regardless of how they were feeling about one another. My birthday stream was set for January 10th. Although there was a lot of tension between the group, we weren't going to let it disrupt our plans, especially me. I mean, I wanted to have my birthday stream, and I did feel kind of like, oh, it's not a good time, but the show goes on, right? Maybe that was a little selfish of me, but it was already planned. We were all kind of concerned because we really hadn't heard much from Kaylee after that initial argument. But needless to say, everybody was there for the birthday bash, with the exception of just being me. She had other priorities, and as we always say, family comes first. So everybody was there, but you could just tell that there was something going on. We could feel it. So you see, back in January, there were already troubles brewing, but we never made it public. Why? Because it was between us. It was nobody's business. So even after having an amazingly fun stream, there really seemed to be more tension in the group than ever before. At this point, it was becoming very, very uncomfortable for the rest of us. And we could all see that the fracture was beyond repair and the whole situation was just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And explode it did. Now, I can't say exactly when, how, or what started the final argument because the animosity had been building up with each passing day, and it seemed like each day brought new drama and more hurt feelings. This was definitely something that we never ever wanted to be part of. I had seen these types of situations with others and I knew it wasn't going to end well. And it's one of the reasons why I had kept away from doing the whole group thing, because these types of arguments, it never ends well because it always ends up with people feeling like they're put in the middle. And I didn't want to be put in the middle. Anyhow, we all tried to help each other get through this. We tried to help each of them see each other's side. We tried to clear up any miscommunications. But by then, the feelings had been hurt. And they were hurt beyond repair. And it just seemed like too much had already been said. And a few things came out. And there was just a lot of things said that just could not be taken back and could not be made better. So honestly, it wasn't something that came as a surprise to any of us because we had seen the building tension. But really never did I think it would be down to the point where I had to feel as though I was choosing between the two of them. And for the record, it was never put like that to me in that manner. Yes, I did feel that there was a suggested ultimatum put out there, but I wasn't having that feeling that I needed to decide, that somebody was making me choose. I wasn't having that, and I made a decision for myself to still support each of them. I had no interest in playing the game. I didn't want that, so I made it quite clear that I'm not choosing sides. I'm not going to pick. Don't make me pick. Don't think I'm going to pick, and that's not happening. Unfortunately, things did not work out the way we had wished, and on February 1st, Kaylee left the DM group. And I understood her being upset, and I wasn't just going to turn my back on her, so I gave her some space in hopes that she would see that I wasn't choosing a side, but trying to keep the peace between two people I cared about. I, along with the others, suggested that we keep all this business between us because it was nobody else's business. It was nobody else's business. This was something that was happening within our group, within the 6 of us. Neither Kaylee or Dee understood the request that was coming from a good place. And that was from all of us, not just me. It was from all of us. They didn't understand that it was coming from a good place. It wasn't to shut either one of them up, but to try to keep others out of our private affairs. Looking back on it now, I can see where both of them kind of felt hurt and maybe felt like it was a very unfair request of the group to say, hey, let's keep this quiet, let's not talk about it, because they were both very hurt. They both had a lot of emotions. They were both very angry, and they felt the need to vent. Although we were hoping they would vent with us within the group, they wanted to share their story. They wanted to feel like they were vindicated in their feelings. But the whole thing that we were trying to get across to them was, what did it matter? What did it matter if they went public with this? Because this was not something that played out in the public. People didn't see what was going on behind the scenes. And in order for people to know exactly what was going on, we would have to tell the whole story of what happened and things that were said. And we didn't want that. Why put it out there? This was a private matter, private for us, for the 6 of us to deal with. We either work it out or we don't. We move on and just let it go. But I understand that, that takes a lot of maturity, and I'm a lot older. And it took me a long time to get to the position where I was, but I've always been the type of person that I like to cool down before I say things that I'm going to regret later. So that was the whole purpose of us saying, hey, let's keep it between us. It's not a public thing. This did not play out for the whole world to see. Let's just keep it between us. And to be honest with you, I really started to get my feelings hurt, because the more I pushed for that, the more I got the blowback of, oh, well, you're just selfish and you're just thinking about yourself and you only care about how you look and you don't care about my feelings. It's all about you. You just want to look like the better person, all of this. And I'm like, that is far from the truth. I don't care. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you go public with this, this is going to turn into something that it shouldn't, because it doesn't involve anybody but the 6 of us. But if you want to go public with it, you're going to have to deal with the drama that comes with it. And if you feel the need to make this public, then it is on you. Do not involve me. You guys can talk about yourselves, but don't involve me, because I'm not going to pick sides. I'm not going to try to defend anybody. I'm not going to deal with the backlash, because it's something that I don't want. And the group felt like that. Like, we don't want this. We kept on saying that. We don't want this. We don't want to put it out there. Again, nobody's business. And I have had a few people come to me and say, it's pretty sad that you're putting this out there and you're making it all public. And I agree. And I will say that. And I've said that since January. Nobody's business. This should not be made public. But with that said, I'm tired of the false allegations that keep on being thrown out there, that I kept somebody quiet while I went and told my story. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. But I'm going to share my side of it, because I'm over it. I'm done with it. And for those of you who don't get it, don't understand, until you're in this position, you can't sit there and judge somebody. Anyhow, for those of you guys who have been following this, you guys know that things didn't stay private, that things started to go public, and things really started to go downhill from there. But I'll save that for another video. Until then, remember, each and every one of you are awesome. Now go out there and make it a stellar day.